We are going to look at a question on the calculation of valuation of inventory, whereby we're going to look at the method of FIFO, that is first in, first out. So we're going to look at a question from the question paper of October 2020. So the question that we have is our question 2.2 on that question paper. So the question reads, Jacaranda producers concluded the following transactions with regard to inventory item LL001 during September of this year. So we are given the information of the movements of inventory in terms of the opening inventory and what was received during the period and what was issued during the period. So this is what we, on the required part, it is calculate the value of material LL001 using first in, first out method around of all amounts are to decimals. So basically the first in, first out method, we are saying whenever we issue inventory, we issue the first inventory that was received. So we're going to take from, for instance, when we start the period, we are going to take the inventory that is going to be issued from the opening inventory. So basically that's what we have. So we see that our question is got 20 marks. So this is going to be our answer section, whereby obviously we are going to start with the opening balance, and you see that the opening balance we are given it on 01, and you see that the month is September, so it's going to be 0109. So a representation of our date, we are going to say 01, 09, and this is the opening day. And then our number of units that we have, we're going to put them only uh, in the balance section because it's the opening balance. So we check there, we've got 280 units, each with weight 18 rands. So we adjust as such, we put our number of units, which we have is 280, and the unit price being 18. So if you say 280 times 18, you're going to get 5,040. So that's what we have on this part. And then from there, we can close in terms of on this day of 0109. So moving on to the second, the next day that we have is on 0309, whereby we've got purchased the 600 units. So we can just indicate here we've got 0309. And then purchased 600 units. So when we are purchasing, that's when we are receiving. So we've got 600 units. Each unit is 10 rand. So we indicate our 10 on price, then the total becomes 600 times 10, and then you get your 6,000. So this is only what transpired on the day of 3. So we now go to the balance, whereby we now include the 600 units, 10, and 6,000 is total. So we on the balance, we are going to include the opening that we had. It's going also to be included at 280 at 18, giving us 5,040. We still have it. And then we include the new that we have just received, which is 600, 600 units at 10 rand each, giving us 6,000. So that's what we have. So we can as well close in terms of on this day. Move on to the next day, which we are given as 9. We have got transferred 210 units to the factor. So on the transfer, we are going to put them in the column for issues because they are going out. So we are saying number of units are being going out. We've got 210 units, but they're not given the unit. So it means we take the units that are going out from the units that were there at the beginning. Remember, at the beginning, we had 280 units. That's where we're going to take the 210 units, and then we issue them at 18 rand each. So that's what we have. So on issues, we are here. We are saying 210 on units, and then each one on the as we are saying, we are taking them from the opening balance. Remember, it's first in, first out. So these are the first to be received. So they have to be the first to go out. So we take 210 out of this with a unit price of 18. So when you say 210 times 18, you're going to get 3,780, which is supposed to be in this column. So that's what we have. And then on the balance now, we are saying, remember, we have taken 210 from the 280 that were there at the beginning. So you say 210 minus 280, you're going to get a balance of 70 units. And the unit price still remains the same, 18. So you say now, say 70 times 18. We see that the answer that we are going to get is 1,260. So the 600 is still there. 610 is still there. So we still repeat them here as our balance. So that's what we have. And then obviously we have to close. We go to the next day that we have. We see that on the next day, we bought and received. So it means we received 900 units at 15 rand each. So this is on 1209. We can just check 1209, and this was 909. The previous one was 909. This one is 1209. So you can say, and the current one is 1209. And we are saying we received 900 units. Each one is 15 rand. So we indicate as 15. So the total, we're saying 900 times 15, we get 13,500. So we have 13,500. So basically, this is what we have. So the receipts are going to be the additions on the balance. So on the balance, we are going to repeat what we have plus what we have received. So we are saying we had 70 at 18, giving us 1,260. We have also 600 at 10, giving us 6,000. Then from there, we have additional 915, giving us 13,500. Then, of course, we have to close. So we'll move on to the next day. From 1209, we move on to 1509. We have got issues 200 units to the factory. So we check which is on the 15th. So we are saying 15. So on issues, remember we have got the columns for issues. We have the column for issues here, which is this one. So we're going to have our units here. So the 210 that is being issued. Remember, we are saying no. Sorry, we have 200 units that are being issued. So from the 200 units that are being issued, we can just check in terms of the balances that we have. We are going to start by taking 70. So out of the 200, we first take the first in. 70 is the first that we have. So we say 70. 18, giving us 1,260. And then if we subtract now, remember it's 200, so we are going to say 200 plus the 70 that we've already taken. We are going to get your 130. So we still have 130 that we have to issue. So we refer back this 130, we take them out of 600. So we have 130 remaining. 600, which is 10 per unit, to give us 1,000. To give us 1,300. So again, just indicate it as 1,300. Then on the balance now, out of the 70 that has been taken, there's nothing. We exhausted everything. Then we took 130 out of 600. So we are now saying 600 minus 130 that has been taken. You are going to see that what is now remaining. What is now remaining? We can just calculate to see what we have. 600 minus 130. So we are going to get your balance is 587. 587 is we have taken our 130 out of the 600. So according to the calculation, we are getting it as 470. 470 is now remaining, 470 here. So we now have 470 units on the balance. So we are saying 470, and we are taking the remaining 470 is out of the 600, which is 10 as the unit price. So if you calculate there 10 times 470, you get 4,700. So that's what we have on out of the 600. And then the 900 is still there. The 900 is still there. So we also have 915, giving us 13,500. So that's what we have on that part. So moving on to the next date, out of after 15, we have 19 now. So if you check on the 19th, we returned 800 units to the supplier due to defects. We returned 800 units to the supplier due to defects, and what is being returned is what was received on the 12th September. So 12th September is here. So we are returning 800 units out of 900. So it's only going to remain 100. 900 minus 800, then it remains only 100. So the adjustment of returns, we do it in the column for receipts. So we come here, we come to the column for receipts. This is now on the 19th. So we are saying we are returning 800. So we put in brackets so that we are returning. We are subtracting, indicating returns. So this 800 is being returned out of 900. And then obviously, when they were received, they received a 15. So this is the unit price that we're going to use again. So when you say 800 times 15, you get your answer is 12,000. 800 times 15, you can just check what you get. Get it as 12,000. So we have 12,000. We show it again as 12,000. We show it again as a negative. So that's how we present it. So we go to the balance now. Remember, on the units, we are going to remain with 100. 800 minus 100. So 900 minus 800, we get 100. So 100 is only going to remain at 15. So that's what we are going to write on the balance there, whereby we are going to have the 470 is still going to be there as the first in at 10 to give us 4,700. Then out of that 900, we are only having 100 that is remaining at 15. So 100 times 15, uh, we get 1,500. So basically, that's what we have on that part. So we move on to the next steps uh, as we close this part. So moving on to the next date, out of after 19, we have 25. Transferred 100 units to the production department. So this is an issue again. So transferred 100 units to the production department. So we go there, we go to the issue whereby this is the issue columns. 100 units are being transferred, and then we check from the first that we have, we refer back to the previous balances. We see that what is remaining, we've got 470. 470 is the first in that we have remaining. So we take 100 from 470, which is 10 per unit. So we can indicate that it's 10 per unit. And so 100 times 10, we get 1,000. 100 times 10, we get 1,000. So we can just check in terms of our issues. So remember, this is our issues. Yes. And then we go to the balance section. We have taken 100 from 470. So 470 minus 100 will remain with 370 at 10 to give us 3,700. 3,700. And the 100 is still remains there. 100 at 15, giving us 1,500. So with that, we can close. So the date was 25. Then after 25, we have got 30, purchased 230 units at 19 rand each. So we are receiving 230, and the date is 30. And then we purchased 230 units at 19 rand each. 230 times 19, you get 4,370. So these are the new arrivals. So we include what we had before, which is 370 at 10, giving us 3,700. And then we also have 100 at 15, 1,500, which is here again. We still have all these. And then new arrivals are what we've just received, 230 at 19. Giving us 4,370. So that's what we have, and then we can close again. Remember, this is the last day that we have. So what it means is we are now having closing stock. closing stock is what we are now having. So we can just maybe create spaces. So what we want is closing stock. So basically we are saying closing stock according to Fifo. So the closing stock, we are adding what is remaining in the last balances. So basically we are saying 3,700 plus 1,500 plus 4,370. And then we get a total of 9,570. So this becomes the valuation that we have according to Fifo. And this becomes the last value that we have, that is the value of the inventory according to Fifo for the period. Thank you for listening, and we'll meet again in the next video.